She did I think same can't have pitney.
Yeah, but each time he was just
Him did just
pulling
pull out.
out. Yeah.
And one other time she said, does that part hurt for you?
Yeah. Welcome back, guys.
I'm Shanice.
And I'm Maria.
And today we're going to be talking about Bridgerton.
Bridgerton.
So, Bridgerton, as you heard from Lady Whistledown, is a Netflix series that's based in the 18th century, where we're introduced to a number of royal families, dukes, duchesses, princesses, lords, ladies, and it's courting season. They're trying to find a husband, a wife, somebody to settle down with or date. Well, propose. They're trying to propose. Daphne Bridgerton is the star of the show. She is described as the season's incomparable by the Queen, and so she is the catch of the season for this courting season, and we follow her on her journey to find her
mate.
her husband. So yes, that's basically what the show is about. Let's get into it.
All right. So, first episode, we see all of the women who have been basically raised by their mothers to find a husband, getting all dressed up and being placed before the Queen, and it's like they're being checked out by the Queen in a way. And then the next day there's a ball, and they're all supposed to be meeting with these suitors and dancing with them and chatting with them. Right. And then Daphne meets her brother, her eldest brother's friend.
Yes.
Who happens to be a duke, whose name is Simon.
He's the Duke of Hastings.
The Duke of Hastings. So when they meet, they act like, I would say, they don't like each other.
Act like?
Or they didn't like each other at first.
No.
I think it was an act for him all along.
Really?
Maybe not for her.
I mean, she did buck up into him at the party. Mm-hmm. And because everybody was looking at him did think that she was just pretending.
So why was he in the garden when she knocked down Burbrook? Him follow.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Don't share that, but okay.
Okay, let's bring it back. The only suitor going for Daphne at the time is Lord Burbrook. And he's promised to her by her brother.
Right, and he's an old guy.
Very old, not attractive, and doesn't seem to have anything about him.
It's like him making known that he's a pervert and him don't care. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, I was in my last year in high school when you were being born. And
and he was just very open with that, with that thought. But she's not interested in him. But he follows her into a garden, and he tries to grab her, and she punches him in the face, knocking him to the ground. And then we see the Duke of Hastings, Simon, come out, and he decides at that point to make a pact with her, because he is one of the only men who does not want to be married. Mm-hmm. We find out why later on, but she is in desperate need of a suitor. So they basically make a pact that they would promenade as if they are courting.
Yes.
So this is the start of their courting.
Love story. Oh, sorry.
Well, start of their relationship.
Yeah. So are there any points in the series that you think are noteworthy that you want to talk about?
What stood out to you?
One of the things that stood out to me in the show was the black girl. How in the beginning, I thought she was going to be like one of the good characters and she was going to, bring some diversity to the show. And then she turned out to be evil.
Them girls are wicked, them wicked.
No, the whole time she pregnant.
Yeah.
The whole time she was pregnant and she knew.
I thought initially that she just wasn't interested in anybody because, she didn't like her pickings. But then it came out that she's pregnant.
Yeah. And she's in love with somebody.
And she was in love with somebody else.
Yeah.
And it was only when she realized that the man not into her, or later we found out that he actually died.
Yes.
But it's only when she thought the man wasn't into her that she started to fool these other men and making them think, say, yeah, she's a pure woman.
Yeah, the poor Bridgerton boy. Did fall in love with her.
Oh my gosh, the poor Bridgerton boy. But I found interesting that after he found out that she was pregnant and that she was basically fooling him all along, he said to her that, I would have still married you if you were just honest with me.
Yeah.
I was like, this youth is an upstanding man. Upstanding man.
Yes.
I found it hard to believe too, because
him
especially
do more
in
than
this
most
time,
men would have. I mean, this is not the time though. It's 1813.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Especially in that time, is that I don't.
Right?
See,
that's like shame.
That's
You shun
exactly
people who
yes
have sex outside of marriage.
Yeah.
Much less a whole bastard child.
Yeah.
You go take up a jacket.
It looked like he was coming into it.
Him did same love her, like him did really love her.
Yeah, it
him look a friend who did love him. That try give him the,
Yeah. And then we also saw her with her cousin. It was her cousin?
Who's her cousin? Remember, so the husband did owe some debt and did promise her father that he would have find a suitor for her.
Yeah.
So it was just that kind of cousin, like quote unquote.
So they were like cousins. And the girl was in love with the Bridgerton guy and she wanted to out the girl, which plot twist.
Yeah.
She did. I love that at the end.
Let me tell you, you know what about me? My gut never lied to me yet.
You knew it?
What? From the second episode, I said to my brother, I was like, that little girl there, she had a lady.
You know who I thought it was? You
thought Eloise?
Yeah, I thought she was trying to fool people.
Yeah, no.
I thought she was trying to fool people into thinking that she's not the one, and so she was playing like, who is it? Let's try and find out, like trying to draw everybody's attention elsewhere.
I knew it.
I didn't think it would be her.
I knew it was her. Especially when the girl's secret did bust. I was like, that's definitely her. She was the only one who knew her secret. The whole lady.
She was not the only one who knew the secret. Eloise also knew the secret because she told Eloise. And their whole family also knew the secret. And so we don't know who blabbed. We don't know who could have blabbed.
Her mother, first of all, could not be Lady Whistledown.
I didn't think it was her mother.
Dumb to be Lady Whistledown. Eloise was clearly not Lady Whistledown because she was searching to find out who she was.
But I thought she was trying to throw people off.
No.
I knew though that it wasn't the dressmaker lady.
Yeah.
When Eloise thought it was the dressmaker lady, I knew it wasn't her.
Yeah, when she did confront her, it was just she didn't want to get her out of the shop because she did do the thing. Just that.
Yeah, I don't know, but she was definitely obsessed with finding out who it is, and it was funny that it was actually her best friend.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that twist.
First of all, what did you think? First of all, this show is directed by Shonda Rhimes.
It was produced by Shonda Rhimes. And
she loves to push interracial couples. Nothing wrong with that. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's a stretch that in the 18th century, black royalty and so much black people.
Obviously it's not realistic, but I mean it's like a twist on an 18th century romance in today's world. So
giving us hope.
Yeah, they're just giving you what you want to see today, but also giving you the excitement and grandeur of the 18th century.
Okay. Oh, but did you have to go to the 18th century to do that storyline?
No. Yeah. But if I'm being honest, I wasn't really hooked on the show initially. I wasn't vibing with it.
Yeah. This was a very popular show.
It was. And that's why I pushed to finish it. But I only liked it towards that second half, really.
I don't understand where all the fanfare came from for this show. You know what it is?
What is it?
It's all the sex.
Well,
I feel like people just love to see people having sex on TV.
I know, but the sex never got good to me until when we eventually see Daphne and Simon finally confessed their love for each other on their wedding night.
Yeah.
And then that scene to me was like, whoa, okay, this is steamy. But I didn't really fancy the ones before that.
I kind of felt like it was, for my taste, too much.
The whole show?
Just the sex scenes.
The sex scenes?
The
with them?
Yeah.
Or the amount of the ones with them?
Yeah.
I thought it was realistic because
teenagers would love this.
No, I think it was realistic because of the time. She never had anything else to do.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
She's all she lived for is to be a wife.
Yeah.
And when she thought that she couldn't have kids at the time, then what else are you gonna do? You don't have no picnic to look after, and you just inherit this whole castle. There's nothing else for her to do. So it made sense to me, and men are gonna be men. So
I guess. But, I mean, it's a show. Like, you could have showed other things.
Yeah, they did show other things before that. What did you think of their romance and the way it played out?
It's a typical storyline where we're just going to pretend to be with each other and then them end up falling for each other.
Yeah.
But it kind of... That phase ended so quickly in the show. I was like, what else is going to happen after this? Like, I was like, how them get married so quick?
The show itself was very slow paced.
Yeah.
It was 8 episodes, and I felt like it could have ended in 5.
Yeah.
They could have packed some of the things that they stretched out in shorter episodes, and I just felt like the whole thing was drawn out in a way.
I mean, I guess the point of moving it past that was to show us why he never wanted to get married.
But we saw that from one of the earlier episodes when they had the flashback of him when he was young and he couldn't talk, and his father was basically cussing him out and making him feel like he's
simpleton.
They use that word.
Yeah,
and basically making it seem as if he's good for nothing. And then we fast forward to the scene where his father is on his deathbed, and he's saying to his father that the Hastings line will end with me. So it's kind of like a revenge thing.
Yeah.
So I knew from then on why he did not want to be married and why he did not want to have kids. It's not like a surprise when he eventually revealed it to her later on in the show. It wasn't a surprise.
But we have to remember that the show is based on a novel.
Yes.
So I guess they're just going off what the novel... maybe they're trying to stay as close to the story as possible.
Yeah. And there was also the relationship that the brother had with the opera singer.
Hey.
What you thought about that relationship?
I loved how she stood up for herself. I felt like he was wasting her time. He was stringing her along. Because really and truly, that life just wasn't for her. And she said that. She said that from the beginning.
What I wanted to know is if it was even possible, because I don't know what rank she was on the scale of life. But I was wondering if it was even possible for them to be together. Why for so long they couldn't just come out and be together?
Yeah.
What was it about that?
I was wondering too. I don't think there's a rank issue. Or I don't know if it is that his mother wouldn't approve. I don't know. I don't understand it either.
I was confused as to why they
I don't
couldn't
think
be
she
together.
wants that life. So she never wanted to be... she never wanted him to take her to the ball or anything. She wants a regular life. And he's just not letting go of his lifestyle.
Oh, so it was just different worlds kind of thing. Like, I want this grand life and you want to live... Regular.
Yeah.
So that was it?
I think so.
Okay.
No, what did you think about the guy actually taking the fall for the boxing match? Remember when the guy came to him, the Featherington husband went to him and basically told him, like, just take the fall and you'll get this amount of money, so and so. What do you think about that?
I didn't think that made sense because his friend is a duke.
Yeah.
Who can
set him up for life.
Set him up.
Yeah.
So I was wondering why me to sort out in life with somebody else. I don't know if it was a pride thing or what. I didn't get that.
I didn't get it either. I don't know why he did that.
Yeah, I didn't get it. But the boxing match where the Duke of Hastings and Daphne are sitting at different ends.
Oh, yeah.
And she's talking to the prince who is in love with her.
Yes.
And she can't stop staring at him at the other end.
Yes, and she gets frustrated.
I felt the energy. Yeah. I feel like that was one of the very few moments that I was like, wow, I feel this energy right now. Yeah. And I was like, okay, this is not bad.
Yeah.
I liked that. He could feel them pining for each other.
Yeah, I agree. Mm-hmm. Was he there with anyone?
He wasn't.
Does my accent kick in?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
And then another scene where I felt the passion that they had for each other is on the wedding night. Oh, before we get to the wedding night, how did they even come to getting married? Can we get into that?
All right, yeah.
Because...
Oh, yeah, the duel. Let's talk about it.
Because when the prince proposed to Daphne, was about to propose to Daphne, she runs away, goes into the garden, and Simon follows her. They can't help it. And they
can't
just
help it. At this moment, the passion is high. They've been panning after each other for weeks now, seeing each other across the ballroom floor, ignoring each other. Because what made them ignore each other again? What happened?
Because he basically told her that I need to end this farce.
Oh, yeah.
I guess because he was falling in love with her and didn't want to, pretend anymore.
Yeah.
So she runs away into the garden. He follows her. They stare at each other in their eyes. And they just kiss.
Yeah. In frustration and passion. When he kisses her and then basically restrains himself.
Yeah.
And then she just goes in for the second kiss.
Yeah.
And her brother comes and sees them.
Thumps him down, and then says, "Duel! We must duel!" No, he said, "You must marry. You defile her. Now you must marry." So he refused to marry her at this point. And then he says, "Then we must duel."
And then she says, "You'd rather die than marry me?"
Yes. And then so we're at the duel the next morning, and she begged her other brother to tell her where the duel is. She rides on the horse.
That was so dramatic.
I know everything about this show is so dramatic.
First of all, the duel is when you watch cowboy shows and they turn back to back, take the 10 steps and turn around quick.
Yeah,
that's the duel. So they go to the tree in the middle of nowhere, and about them going to duel, walk. And of course, there's dramatic music, whatever. They're walking, stepping, turn around quick. Duke of Hastings point him gun in the air.
Yeah.
Her brother points his gun right at the Duke.
Yeah.
And then they're staring at each other intensely. All of a sudden you hear a gunshot go off, and you see the girl stop,
and you hear her jump into the gunshot, boot off,
and jump on the floor, and nobody will know if she gets shot.
Yeah. And then while there, she's speaking to him, and she basically says, "Do you really want to die instead of marry me? You really despise me so?" And then he basically tells her at this point that he can't have kids.
Yeah.
And that's why he says he can't. And that's why he can't marry her. And then after that, he walks away. She contemplates it. Can I do this?
We must marry. That's basically it.
And then she just says, we must marry. So they go ahead and they rush the marriage because they kissed, he defiled her.
I never understand that though.
Yeah, that never made any sense to me.
Why she never just said that the night before? So that they never end up in the duel.
I thought it was dumb that they had to rush the marriage, because I'm thinking, yes, you've been defiled, but you've been defiled by the man who is going to marry you. So why does it matter if you get married in a week's time versus 3 months later? I didn't understand it. And it's not like they had sex.
No more.
It was just a kiss.
Them kiss.
So I could not understand it. I was like,
and this is coming from the brother who was asleep with this girl.
Exactly.
Every night.
Yeah.
And then they might talk about how him friend defile her and he must marry.
Yes.
So why you not married the girl yet? You defile her every night. You the worst.
I mean, it dumb. It was just dumb to me. So anyways, we get to the marriage.
Yes.
And they have their wedding.
First of all. So when she says they must marry, they're trying to rush the wedding now. And so they have to rush to get a marriage certificate. But the marriage certificate is denied because at that point in the show, the prince was interested in her. And the queen, who was so happy that her prince got the seasons incomparable.
Yes.
You know? She's like, how dare you just go marry somebody else this quick?
Yeah.
So they basically had to plead their case to the queen. And that's when Simon did a heartfelt told the truth and said, we were just pretending, but I fell in love, romance, blah, blah. I hate those parts of shows.
I loved it.
Yeah, he professed his love and she, did the...
Yeah, but what was just so strange about it is that they were basically ignoring each other up until right before being in front of the queen.
Yes.
They need to plead their case now. Because remember, at this point, everybody, they haven't said to each other that they actually love each other. But they know, they feel it.
Yes.
So she's expressing, she opens her mouth now to try and plead to the queen. And she says something, don't even remember. And then it's like he just stops. He doesn't even turn his head. Yeah, no. He's just staring straight at the queen, and he has an intense look on his face. Not a happy love kind of look, but it's like, I'm going to beat you up kind of look. And he just says, whatever, expressing his love for her. And I was like, okay, so why don't you look at her and tell her that?
And basically was saying how they became best friends and he fell in love with his best friend and blah, blah.
It was a beautiful speech.
It was. I don't remember.
But I was like, come on now. Like, are you guys really going to deny your love after that? Like, I thought it was just ridiculous. And then now, this is the part that I liked. After they got married and they're going on their honeymoon, he gets a separate room from her and she's like, she turns around and she's like, you got a separate room? And he's like, you have no idea what it's like to burn for someone who doesn't burn for you. And I was like, okay. And then she turned around and she said, I burn for you too.
And from this it took off.
And it took off. And then from there, you couldn't get them off of each other.
But here's another part of the story. She never understand how sex work.
Yes.
So, she did that thing same can't have pitney.
Yeah, but each time he was just...
Him did just pull out.
Yeah.
And one other time, she said, does that part hurt for you?
Yeah.
I look like him in pain.
No, so he pulls out each and every time they have sex, and she doesn't understand why. I guess she's just thinking it's a natural the way that sex works. Yeah. And then when she gets an inkling, like, okay, this is weird. This kind of, I don't think this is how it goes. Yeah. She goes to
her maid.
Her maid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And ask her how it works. And then that night, no. Get ready for the liquor. And when it get intense, she roll over and she go on top and she start with her thing.
And he said, no, Daphne, get off, Daphne, get off.
And Daphne look him in the eyes and says,
makeup now, she ready. And then he has to release.
He released inside her.
And he says, Daphne, what did you do? And she just looked back and she was like, so you say you can't have kids?
Yeah. Liar.
I didn't think that you were a liar or something like that.
Yeah.
So that was funny. I thought it was funny.
And then start hate each other again. After.
Yeah, ridiculous. Because we know that they can't hate each other. And we know they're going to end up getting back together, loving each other again, which is exactly what happened in the end. Yeah. And we find out the reason why he told her that he can't have kids, which is just that him trying to get revenge on him father. Which is a dumb reason.
On the Hastings line or something.
Dumb.
The dumbest reason ever. What did you think about the casting, the roles that they played?
I think that everybody played their role well.
You know who I liked? Eloise.
Yes, I was
really
gonna
liked
give an
her.
honorable mention to Eloise because she was a different kind of person in the show.
She wasn't into the whole dress up and court
Yeah.
type thing. Like, she was her independent woman
She
type
wanted
thing.
to be
A writer, an intellectual.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was more about her brains
Yeah.
than impressing a guy.
And the whole time I was thinking that her friend Penelope, who ended up being Lady Whistledown, I thought she was just she wanted to get married and she wanted this. I was shocked that she was Lady Whistledown.
I was thinking too, while I was watching the show, I was like wondering, which character I feel like you could play.
Who could I play? Tell
Because
me.
the show was very dramatic, right? And Maria
I'm so
is
that's
a
me.
drama queen.
Yeah, give me the crown.
I feel like there were a number of characters that I felt like you could play.
All right,
But
go
the one
ahead,
that stands out for me is Featherington. Lady Featherington.
The mother?
Yeah, she was dramatic.
Oh my God!
I felt like
expecting
you could
that.
play that role.
She was hilarious because of how ridiculous she was.
Yes.
So it's like she's very comedic.
Yeah.
She's
Her
very
role,
comedic.
like, I couldn't think of anybody more dramatic than her, and I was thinking, yeah, that's Maria's role. That one.
All right, who else?
Who else you could have played? I can't think
You
of
don't
the
think
queen.
I could have been Eloise?
The queen.
Oh yeah, of course I could be the queen.
The queen.
For sure.
The
She
queen
just was
and
just,
Lady Featherington.
She was just so smooth sitting down. You are incomparable. yeah, that's me. That's me.
Those two.
For you, just because of you get very wrapped up in things and it's like you try to get figure things out and you just want, so I think you'd be Eloise.
Yes, I chose Eloise for myself as
Yeah.
well. That's why I liked her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eloise. I think I could have been Penelope as well.
No.
Yes.
No, I don't feel
Of
like
course
you could have been.
I could, of course, look.
No.
Of course.
No. Okay, so what did you think of the show overall?
I thought the show only picked up after they got married.
You love the sex scenes? That's what you like?
It's not necessarily that. It's just that they finally confessed their love for each other, which it was obvious for many episodes before, and so I was annoyed that they couldn't profess their love.
Build up.
Nah, I don't
just want to get to the point, man.
just get to the point, man. Get to it. And it's not because of the build up, it's because they dragged it out. Like, I like a good build up.
Yeah.
But them drag it out for too long, so I was annoyed. And for me, I think the show was just generally very slow paced. I enjoyed it in the end. I would give it a 7.
A 7?
Yeah.
I'm gonna ditto on that. I'm gonna ditto on that. It wasn't a bad show.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't. It was entertaining. It was, the drama was there for those who love the flair and the fanfare. It's a show for you. But I don't know. It could have had more to me. I don't know. It's just not my type of show. Let's say that. For me now at this age, I need a little bit more stimulation.
All right. So thanks again, guys, for listening to our podcast. We really appreciate
All your ears.
all of your ears. Let us know what you thought.
Yes.
We really actually want to hear what you guys have to say.
Yes, let us know what you thought about what we thought.
Yeah.
And let us know your thoughts.
Yeah, let us know that as well. Comment on our own podcast
Yes.
too. Not just on the show. We'd love some feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be nice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see you when we see you.
All right. Bye.